Hi, Lexi. Crazy. Notification had notification about Facebook. City of Calgary IG explains why the tap water is cloudy. Well, now we got cloudy water. We've heard that some of you are noticing cloudy water. Yeah, I noticed it in my toilet when you turn on the taps. Reassure this is just aesthetic issue and your drinking water remains safe and exceeds safety standards. The cloudy water is not harmful and the water is completely safe to drink. It is this expected outcome of the reconnecting a large feeder main and is part of stabilizing our drinking water. It, you know what? Here, let me get on live here. When it's funny. 2, 3. Oh, this changed. All right. Checking connection. You are live now. Oh, really? Instagram changed. Um, what I noticed is when I went into the bathroom and into the toilet, like it looked like dirt around the bowl. That's what it looked like. And my first thought was thinking that it was probably the new line that came in. And I just thought it was really so I cleaned out the whole bowl. I cleaned out just did a whole toilet bowl clean, this morning and stuff. Uh, as I noticed that, because it was sort of I thought it was weird, uh, being a major city line, but, definitely it could be I didn't notice anything in the when gave the dog water. The cat doesn't drink her water, she drinks out of the bathtub, so you have to go in there and turn the water on for her because she's a special kitty. Um, oh, the things we do for our animals. Good morning, Charlie. So I just found that interesting. Now I just saw that up on on Instagram. So yeah, so welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being a part of my community. Another crazy day. Now, as I went through the week yesterday, I know for a lot of people, like, that was so much. And it is. We are Neptune is retrograde today. And I found it not well, looking at the weather patterns and stuff, like two huge hurricanes just went up through the Caribbean and stuff. Steve was talking to his brother in Trinidad, and they never get hurricanes there. They get strong winds and maybe rain, but not so much hurricanes. And I guess a hurricane hit in around, I think, Trinidad, Tobago. So, which is unusual. So, they've been having a lot of strong winds, a lot of hurricanes coming in. And we also have flooding in parts of Italy. We have flooding. They had a flood warning in France. We've had flood warnings here. I mean, the rainfall has been torrent, like huge, like crazy rainfalls. Um, it's sunny and it's supposed to be 20 degrees today, which is not too bad. But you could feel the dampness in the air, if that makes any sense. And so, yeah, Neptune going retrograde, man. He's going rich. He's at the last degree and last minute. Like this is like s- standing on the tippy toe edge of the cliff and looking over. Yeah, I'm gonna go over there and then whoa, retrograde back. This is like, and he's been in Pisces since 2011, 2012, right? My salt won't come out of the shaker. It's so damp. Got to put rice in there. Put rice um, in your salt so it won't be so damp. This is where we are at the end. This is our spiritual work. Like Neptune in Pisces is all about spiritual work. He will go into Aries. That's in 25, 26. And that's where he's going to meet up with Saturn, and that's going to be in 25. So this energies, and I got synergies that are coming in, are really riling people up. Really, things are getting really heightened and a little bit crazy, and a little bit, a lot of delusion. If I kind of just watching the whole political scene is just fucking hilarious. I mean, between our nose candy prime minister and doing, I mean, they just did a whole memes and stuff about his stupid white man dance, um, to just erratic behavior, like, just erratic behavior, like, it's almost like, this is my analogy, it's almost like, Hitler being at the very edge of his control, and could you imagine how he would have been so erratic with the amount of drugs and barbiturates that he was on? And how erratic that he would have been. So this is where, it just being on the edge of something. And same with, when we saw finally the people realize that the emperor has no clothes, Biden, uh, like, it's like all these politicians finally came out. I didn't know it was so bad. Really? That's my high hoity-toity voice. Got to get the English in me. Um, Seeing that, oh my God, he really does have dementia. Yeah. Evidence is coming out that they knew in 2019 that he had early stages of dementia, which is like, what the fuck? Like, you just like, this is where it's like, the illusions and the disillusions and the craziness is just coming in and getting all stirred up. And with, especially with Saturn going retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Pluto. So Pluto and Neptune are two outer planets, right? Um, and they have a lot to do with our subconscious. So it's our subconscious ideas and our beliefs are coming forward. Like, things are getting recessed, things are being seen. And with Mercury doing an opposition, especially to Pluto, there could be a lot of like, oh my God, what about this? And wanting to analyze everything, right? Wanting to look at every single piece of it, because Pluto being in Aquarius, I got to look at this, I got to look at this, I got to make sure everything's fine, everything's in order. And your mind, and it's in Leo, it's just like, but I got to make it look good. I got to make, so our mind is kind of doing a little bit of a freak out right now with everything. So we have that's going on. I saw in New York that they want to, it's like when they say mandatory mask mandate, now they're wanting to take away the masks, that making wearing masks illegal in the state of New York. And that's because crime is up. I mean, they are losing millions and millions of dollars. Huge stores are pulling out in New York, but that all has to do with, their laws and regulations, and the way that they process people, and they know they can get away with shit, right? But it's gotten to so bad that, people are being terrorized by these people who are in masks and stuff, that are either Antifa, pro-Palestinian people, and all of that. Plus, not only doing the shoplifting and the robberies. So craziness there, the erraticness that's happening there. To the UK has their vote out this week, and some of their ballots have gone missing. They're mail-in ballots. Like, you can't make this shit up. You're just like, oh, how did they go missing? And then there's a guy, a mailman, who's sending out the mail-in ballots, that is going around and circling a party and saying that they're racist. It's a racist party. Don't vote for them. Like, he's actually putting that on people's ballots. So, this is like, what the fuck? Like, Clown Town? Yeah, we are in the middle of Clown Town, and it's just going to get crazier, the rides, the noise, the obsessions, the freakouts, all of this, all of these emotions are really going to start to heighten over the summer. And with Neptune gone retrograde, you know, it's like really solution finding, It's all about your attitude on how you are going to process things. Are you going to have those freakouts? Are you going to be the one in the middle of 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 the circus just having a complete meltdown, right? Or are you gonna be meeting things with positivity, doing it, processing, and while you're doing it, while you're processing it, it's like, "Okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me," right? Taking that time, that due diligence in order to process all of the frequencies and the different energies and the sub energies that are coming forth in and around us, and also not freaking out on people, right? And not freaking out on how, people are. So the needs to, what needs to happen, and finding that comfort where we, because we are in Cancer energy. Cancer energy is all about comfort, and it can get a little lazy. It can get a little lazy. It's like, oh, well, I'm not sure if I really want to do that. I feel so good because it's about home and safety, right? Cancers love home and safety. They rule the home. So to get outside of your home is huge, right? So that's why it's funny. If you look at the Canadian chart or the American chart, they're both Cancer charts, right? And you'll find that people don't travel long distances for Canada Day or um, even for July the 4th, right? They're not going to travel like take a huge excursion. It's usually a family trip. It's usually getting in the car. We're going to have a family trip. We're going to have a family barbecue. People get together, they go on the beach. These types of things are common because those are Cancer. That's the Cancer energy. It just, come on, let's get the family together. Let's just have a good time here. Let's not, we're not going to go too far, and let's just have our comfort foods. So what are their comfort foods? Oh, well, we'll have potato salad, macaroni salad. We'll have, a steak, a hot dog, whatever it is that your family loves to have when they're having their barbecue. That's where the energy is, right? And it's like we can get where it's, this youthful energy, which is, the Aquarius wanting to know, inquisitive, you know, um, Leo is very much, just that stepping out of being a teenager and sort of like, yeah, I want to know. It's kind of curious, and keep showing up for what it is that's important to you. Keep showing up to what you align with. And that's, part of it. And don't get into the crazy emotional nutters that are out there. I love that word. I heard that the other day, and he was calling the political people, and some of these people, he was calling them nutters. And I thought, oh, I love that word, nutters. So that's gonna be one of my words, nutters. So don't get, crazy with all the nutters that are out there, because it's just gonna cause more frustration within you. This is definitely a roller coaster day. It is a day that you just gotta ride the ride and go with it. It's a day where people are going to be feeling very off and not feeling very aligned. So plans showing up is so important, and not getting into the craziness. Um, when just looking at some of the political scenes that are out there and the things that are unfolding, it is heightened. It is heightened. One thing I've noticed, and has not really been talked about, is Canada and the preparedness for Canadians. You've heard about preparedness, down in the States, definitely. You got preparedness, for all through Europe and the UK, they've talked about it, but you haven't really heard about preparedness of Canada, which kind of gets me really thinking that, what is the agenda here? What is going on? Um, for most Canadians, I mean, to tell you the truth, most Canadians wouldn't even survive if shit hit the fan here. Um, if something happened where there was, an EMP or something like that, took out all the grid system or things like that, or something happened that was very horrific, Canadians would have a hard time dealing with that because they're not prepared. They have no idea on how to survive and how to get through things and to think outside the box. The complacency is amazing. Now, they haven't mentioned anything about conscription here very much, except if you know people who are in the forces, it's a lot of backdoor draft or going and contacting those who have served in Afghanistan and who are calling those guys up. Even the ones who have been deemed with PTSD and other mental illnesses. They're calling them up because one, they bloody well don't give a shit. And two, it's how do you explain this? Putting them back, even though it is a horrific thing, putting them back into the war zone, it's almost where that's where they can click in. It's like it's like it's a place where they can identify with. It's a place that they know and they can click in, even though it causes mental things going on and disorders there. But when they're there, or they're in the combat, or they're in that um that craziness, they click in, right? They click in. Pretty sure it's better than the release as well. That's if there's a word that they have to go back into it. Yeah, so there's I and our budget for the war is only like 1.6% of 1.7%, 1.76% or something. We're supposed to be at 2%, right? Um for being in NATO, but somehow they let us slide, and I think that's because, we have bully us, we have the king, the king. Yeah, Charles, Chucky baby. The boy with the pudgy hands, the sausage finger boy. So we have him. And that's and that whole scenario, what's going on over there. So everything is out there, everything's a show, and this is where you have to come into your grounding, into your understanding. I don't have any more incense, dear.
No, I'm looking for a pin or a needle.
Oh, pin.
Is this sewing thing?
I don't know, but because you're asking me while I'm on scope, so I have no idea.
Okay. I'll find something.
So he's tearing apart my drawers. Look in the bottom drawer, dear. Look in the bottom drawer, and there should be an Estee Lauder box. A blue box? Is there a blue box there?
No.
Maybe it's in the second drawer. Welcome, everybody. We're looking for a pin. No, he has me looking because no. Now you saw behind the curtain. Don't know. I'd have to get up and look for him.
No. I'll find it.
So, good morning, Steve. Everybody's saying good morning to you.
Oh, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
I'm just looking for a pin.
He's looking for a pin or a needle. What do you think about the political scene, my dear?
Yeah, those people are crazy, so I don't know.
Those people are crazy.
Yes.
So he just lets them go. Do you have any advice for them?
What advice? They should be out of power. That's it.
There you go. Oh God, you had to ask. Good morning. Good morning, Jen.
They're messing up our lives.
The politics are messing up our lives. Yes. So, but you can get him going by asking how he really thinks. You can mention things about Biden or Trump, and then then he can tell you what he really, really, really thinks. Or our nose candy.
Yes, they should be on.
Was it our nose candy prime minister? Or what do you think of Turban Boy, Steve?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. Him, I don't know. I don't like Indian people. Sorry. Because all they do is cause trouble. They ain't doing nothing good for me. So
So I hope you heard all that. So there you go. But yeah, so that's it's the craziness that's unfolding is it's just starting to escalate even more, and the escalation is just going to go crazier. So I do have my moon readings. The new moon is on Friday. Um I am going today's the last day for my astrology club, and for July and August for my astrology club, I probably is going, if anybody wants to meet once a month, we'll meet once a month. And um and I do have, and we can go over the month information and stuff like that for what's going on for the month. July is going to be a very hectic, a month that is going to have a lot of clashes. It's going to have a lot of craziness that's going to come forth. I feel like it could have some explosions that come forth with this month, especially with Mars hitting Uranus and it's on Elgul. Even when you look at Ayurvedic Veda astrology, there, especially with the different sutras that it's coming in and hitting, those sutras are very aggressive. They're very warring. They're very um, pushing people into a transformation. Now, with the frequencies and the energies that are coming in that are pushing us to do this, this is getting us to really come forth. This is really getting us to look at the truth of who we are as humans and who we are as humanity and how we want to go forward. But in order to go forward, it's like we gotta shovel out all this shit that's going on. And my analogy is, it's it is a chateau analogy where Dan the gardener, Dan, who has his YouTube page, he bought the frame of a chateau, and the chateau was burnt out, I think, sometime in the 70s or 80s. The whole thing burnt out. So to get in through the front, come up the steps and get into the front, the pile of stuff he had to dig out, right? And he had to dig that all out. He had to get it out. There's a tree growing in the middle of the chateau when he got it. Now, this is what I think, has it been a year or so? I mean, he's got all the floors in. He's gotten help from friends and stuff like that, and his YouTube channel is just blowing up also, which helps because that gives him revenue to buy, and he's had some really good sponsors and stuff when it comes to tools and stuff because he does utilize them. He's gotten sponsors because where he is, he doesn't have electricity yet. He's been doing everything by solar power, which is like crazy for charging everything. He's built a yurt where he lives out of, and I think he has outdoor shower facilities where he has to truck in some, water and stuff. But this is what he's doing to create what he wants, right? And it's not easy, right? Getting up, steel beams going up how many meters high in a chateau. And you got to think that the chateau ceilings are at least 9 feet, right? So, for each floor, and they get sort of smaller for they could be taller. I think some of them are 15. Yeah, how tall the ceilings are. But it's like the determination of saying, this is what I really want to recreate for myself. I'm tired of living this way. I don't want to live this way anymore. I want to live this way. But in order to do it, see, the decisions are there for us, but they're never the easy ones. The decisions are there and they're never the easy ones. The thing is that how I look at it is that God, the divine, whoever you believe in, I mean, when you trust in him or her, when you put that faith in that, when you put the faith in the divine, they oversee, how much you can take, right? And they're they're there watching and helping to guide you. Now, I know many of you are going to say, well, what about all of these horrific things that are happening in the world? They have to happen in order for us to awaken. The devastations, the cruelty, the abuse, the dishonesty, and the corruption has to happen in order for us to get a better view of this world. We've had it so good that we just totally dismissed everything. We don't want to see it. We don't want to pay attention to it because it's over there. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. How many people during the pandemic that was saying in this one, well, those rules, those mandates don't affect me. I'm still living my life. How closed can you be? Right? How blinded can you be? And there are these people are blinded. It's not until things just like bulldoze, they lose their house, they lose their job, they lose shit, and then they awaken. And that's what's happening right now. People think everything's fine, and that's why I say Canada is like in this sort of like utopia. Yeah, we got a crazy candy nose boy with running with Turban Man. We have this craziness that's coming in. And it's the delusion of it all. But it's going to come to a point where it's like when you have to renew your mortgage, and where when you renew your mortgage it's like another $700 or another $300. Well, where the fuck are you getting that extra money? Because this is what you budgeted out. But now with this coming, well, why is this happening? Well, our government has passed these laws to make this in effect. Filling up your gas tank. Right now, the gas is sort of sitting there funny, and I know there's something trying to really contain something there. I'm gonna do a live later on today when I go for a walk, and I'm gonna show you what like the side by sides that are being built and the infills that are being built in my neighborhood are just crazy. Like they just knocked down this one house on the corner here about 3 months ago, I would say.
Oh,
And there's already two houses that are being built on there. And each of them are going to be sold for going on for like one point over $1 million. All right. And you're just like, wow, okay, look at all of this. Like when is that reality? When is it when things are going to burst? When people are going to realize it? Because you can't continue going the way we're going. People know that. But that's why you're seeing people uproar. That's where you're seeing people getting upset. That's where you're seeing everything starting to crumble, right? And that is where the blind eye comes in because people don't want to see it. They don't want to pay attention to it until they go to a place where they finally are buying their groceries and they can't afford it anymore. Or the bill comes in for their utilities and it's crazy amount of money and you're just like, what the fuck? I can't do this. Like, where am I going to get the money for this? This is where these extremes have to come in because there is a breaking point. During the gold rush, and we sometimes we don't really think about this because we think that we're the only ones who paid high prices. During the gold rush, when the gold rush was happening, things got totally out of control, where a loaf of bread ended up being like $10, and the cost of living just started to go crazy. And that's not only down in California, but it was up in Edmonton area as well, because that's where everybody was going to the Yukon to go to the gold rush and um, going to make their fortune. But this is where, of course, corruption and everything comes in, and prices skyrocket, everything elevated to buy a house, to buy this. And it, for that time frame, yeah, it was really expensive. So if you wanted to go do that, you had to make sure you had money in your pocket in order to do that. Similar to saying now, things are getting escalated to a point where people are there's going to be a huge breaking point, and when it happens, there's going to be where a lot of people are going to be homeless, um, starving. That's where and again, this is where, especially with this energy and all of this water energy and things going crazy, dams are breaking in the States. Um, things are flooding all over the place. This is where it's coming in where it's like, okay, where's our community? We have to come together. You can't rely on the government. You can't rely on somebody from out there to come in. It's here. And this is where the reliance comes in. And this is where the importance comes in with all of it. And it is a re-looking at everything, rebranding everything, and making sure that you're covering your ass and keeping yourself, safe and secure with as things are starting to really stir up. I'd say within the next 6 months, is it's just going to take a total. I mean, we're halfway through the year, so um, by the end of the year and going into 2025, we are going to be in a world that we knew was coming, but we didn't know was coming, and it's so unexpected. And things are just, I feel like because of the retrogrades all coming in with Neptune, Saturn, we have Pluto. With all of these retrogrades coming in, things are just, it's that slow winding that's coming in. And then as it gets really, really tight, it just everything gets let go and it just starts like, what the fuck just happened here? So, this is again, this is where you have to, are you having faith in your divine? This is handing it over and not trying to do it all by yourself, not trying to figure it all out by yourself. You got to put some faith in God and faith in some faith in those around you. So don't go crazy with a lot of this. It's part and parcel of the changes that are coming in. So good morning. How are you? You're not going to go on your thing yet. So you can go wash up, go to the bathroom, shake off all the heebie jeebies from the day because you just woke up and your horns are sticking up. I can see them. Okay, Mr. Heebie jeebie. So go shake everything off. Shake it. Shake it off. Shake it off. Now, I'm going to throw it out there to you guys because I know you guys listen to me every day. Do you have any questions? I'm trying not to go cray-cray. Well, being a Gemini, and you also have Mercury left, but Mars is going to be coming into your sign soon. You just have Jupiter in there, so you really have to make sure that you're keeping yourself grounded. As a being Gemini, your ruler is doing the opposition to Pluto, so that's really going to make you sometimes over process things. So it's really taking things and getting it from out of here, embodying it, and then releasing it. As if you have it too much in here, then it just goes crazy. It just starts vamping up even more. So it's embodying it and then releasing it is very important with everything. And the fixed signs, especially with where Aquarius is and that energies of coming through with the Pluto energies, it's really staying in your truth is a huge one. And staying true to who you are and coming into that heart center is very important, with this all. And sometimes it's difficult because there is so much being thrown, so much more coming in, and especially when it comes into like the financials. So financials are huge for people, and where like even for me, yes, I'm going to physio twice a week, and I've still put out applications, and I've still going out and looking for something. to sort of, so to bring in something. And in order for me to get a vehicle, I need to have a job. So it's important for me to look for it so that I can get a vehicle. So I need to have something that's sustainable, at least for me to be able to get a loan to get a vehicle. I was in the city in planes. We're shooting buildings. Very scary. Ooh, that is scary, right? That is scary. Um, but you're picking up a lot on the vibrations, and it's funny that you say that because I know Russia is really amping up right now on everything. So fine, I put clothes out there for you. I'm gonna stay in my PJs for a bit. Okay, but you're not going to go watch Netflix in the bedroom. Not YouTube? No, not YouTube, because you watch the shorts. Um, so there's so much. Russia is starting to ramp up on things and is starting to target um, the different NATOs and stuff like that. Also, somehow I just feel like he wants to bring it to the American shore. There hasn't been a war really fought except since the revolution, but then we are in that revolutionary energy where it's like, you know what? Um, why are we always getting hit and not the states kind of thing? And so I feel like something's going to come in there. So, but yeah, it does. It wakes you up with a stark, sort of thing of feeling and overwhelmness, right? And that can be difficult as well. So, uh, I know. I mentioned that this is the year of the pandemic, and I mentioned it to a few people. So now they're texting me like, "What do I need to get?" Um, because I mean, it's making sure you just have your proper vitamins and stuff, and um, keeping up on your health, and don't dismiss anything if you're feeling anything coming into your chest and stuff, keeping up on that. Mullein is a really good one. Herba Monte is a really good one to have. Nettle. So different things like that are very good to have on hand. Of course, your vitamin C, vitamin D are good ones as well. Things, elderberry. So elderberry syrups and things like that for cough and cold. There's tons of remedies out there to utilize with garlics and onions and things like that. Those are always good ones to have. Honey, medicinal honey is a really good one as well. It's a balance act. Everything is a balance act right now. And balancing how we are going to be doing things, how we are going forward. It is. It's like it might feel a little bit tipsy, a little bit turvy, but everything is right now a balancing act in getting things done and doing the things that we need to do. You are calm within no matter the fluctuation of the outer conditions. There are times when things seem to be topsy-turvy and it feels as if you are juggling 1,000 balls in the air. Choose harmony over discord. So knowing everything it's feeling topsy-turvy, knowing, but you're doing the balancing act, you're staying the course. And that's awesome. And with that, there is a golden bat palace. There is a positive to all of this. It just may not feel it at this time, but there is a positive to this, right? And knowing that we are going to be creating, and we are creating something because it, it it's not like everything gets dismantled and everything's gone. There's still going to be somewhat of a structure there, but things are going to be changing. And there is going to be enough. The Golden Palace with the Balancing Act, there is going to be enough. A lot of you have been doing the work. You've been doing the work. And now it's just showing others on how to do the work and how to keep the calm within oneself. And having those moments of crazy outbursts. Yes, we all have them, but still coming back to the centeredness, coming back into, to a place where we can just give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle. And with that, we're with all the balancing in the golden place, it is a one ring circus. It's crazy, it's nutty, and there's a lot of balls that we are juggling right now. And with the energies that are coming in and the planetary retrogrades that are coming forward, it is bringing us to feel a little bit out of, that we are in the middle of the circus, that we are, um, you are capable and competent. Know that you're capable and competent. Know that there is enough. There is enough. It just, when you get into the illusion where Pluto, where Neptune is, it can bring in the illusion. There isn't enough. We don't have enough. We don't have anything. We're going to die. We can get into that crazy thoughts, right? But independence is a key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or the resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you are acquired along the way makes you particularly competent and capable. So no, you got it. Know that you have what it takes. It's there. It's there within you, right? And having faith means that you are, before you are making a decision, come to that place with your God. Come to that place with the divine. Put your hands on your heart and saying, which way do I need to go? And if you don't get an answer right away, then just sort of say, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to leave it for a moment. And sometimes the answer that you get are like, oh shit, that's going to be hard. It is. It's going to be like Dan digging out the chateau of dirt and everything else and bringing it together. It's just seeing the, when just watching the whole transformation of everything that he's done is just utterly amazing, right? And I love watching those transformations, and it does give me inspiration on, okay, I got to do this. I got to make the changes I need to make. And that's even for myself. I mean, I'm 60 years old. I still have to make changes for myself because there's a new direction that I have to take, and it's not easy. It's not an easy one, but it's one that I have to take, that I have to look at, and I create and do all that kind of stuff. And some days it's just like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. It's just too much. But, put it and ask God, ask your divine, ask Jesus, help me, guide me, take me along your way. I'm stepping into the heart of the Holy Spirit, and I'm stepping in the heart of the Divine Mother to guide me with all of this. And that's very important. So have a fabulous day. If you're wanting to order a moon reading, let me know. They're available. And they're individually done. They're not pre-recorded or anything. Well, they are recorded. They're recorded for you, and I do a little reading with it. So, but they're for you. And so just let me know if you're interested, and have a fabulous day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all you say, and all you be, and all you do. Blessed be everybody. Have a great one. And we will talk to you very soon. Bye.